I spin in circles, I scream to the void. I'm born in the wasteland, my rage is employed. A storm in my chest, it burns and destroys. Dance with the chaos, spin till you fall. It burns and screeches, the end of it all. Round and round until we crawl. This is the inferno, the Boca Brawl. Your lies are balloons, they pop in my face. I'll stop on the floor, leave no empty space. A carnival riot, no room for disgrace. Buttons clicking, hearts are ticking. Fists are flying, skies are splitting. Dance with the chaos, spin till you fall. A bird and screeches, the end of it all. Round and round until we crawl. This is the inferno, the Polka Brawl. The tubas, the demon, the snare drums, the beast. The accordion fury will never be safe. This is a battle of musical faith. The polka goes harder than hell's unleashed.
Yay, welcome to the Space and Rocket Review. We are back. We are back. We are back. What's going on?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, we're back. I was on vacation last week.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
There we go. We talk about how you spell review. Yeah, sure. It's a reference. You guys, do you know the reference? Here. How's that? Does that make sense? After 3 years, the fabulous Rhythm and Blues Revue. No? We're putting the band back together? No? Oh yeah, I put the noise suppressor back on, so. the review. The Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. No. One night only. Palace Hotel Ballroom. Yeah, it's an older reference, sir, but it checks out. I was about to clear them. All right, so I was kind of gonna. I was gonna kind of like review like the high points from Space News, if at all, if there was any, from last week. So I got a couple of things compiled up, but all right. So some things that we were tracking. Here we were, well, not tracking, but some things that we wanted to kind of. Why am I not following Northrop Grumman? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Northrop Grumman. Oh, it's different. I get it. So, here you go. One of the missions we were tracking was the Swift Boost mission that was launched on Stargazer, Lockheed L-1011, with a Pegasus solid rocket booster underneath it to launch the Swift Space Telescope Boost mission for NASA. It did launch, and it's on its way up there. But, yeah, I'm just never going to not show you guys a picture of it, because it's super cool. This plane, this is the last airworthy Lockheed TriStar in existence. Hey, Space Pope, what's up, dude? Yeah, I got to get that OIG. Yep. Bring me four fried chickens and a Coke and a Pegasus rocket. Yeah. RB-211s. Yep. No way. I did not see that coming. Okay. Are those engines on an inward angle? Yeah, they look to be a little bit, but engines do kind of go in a little bit during rotation. The engines are most likely facing forward, dude. But when the plane goes to rotate, the gyroscopic precession from the rotating engines will want to turn them. So they're probably just flexing a little bit in this picture. Does this mean Alex will be intolerable now? I have no idea. It's not a TriStar, it's an L1011. Oh, yeah. Weird flex, but okay. Yeah. I learned all about that recently with engine precession during V1 and rotation from an NTSB report. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, end of an era for Ronaldo. That was Ronaldo's last game, huh? So the Swift Space Telescope, the Swift Boost mission did launch. It wasn't streamed at all, though, dudes. It wasn't streamed. I believe that Udvar Hazy has a Pegasus rocket, Joe. It'd be nice to get the Stargazer to go with it. Yeah. And somebody posted this as a response to that. It's called the Link mission. Okay. How did your trip go? Oh, Saturday was great. Yeah, I had a good time. Yeah, everything was good, dude. My vacation was good, just in case you guys didn't see the other VOD that we posted today. Yeah, vacation was fine. I did nothing for a lot of it. I did some work on the car by taking it apart even more. But, you know, we won't talk about that. I will be doing car work this week. Whether it's going to be streamed or not we'll see. We'll see. So, Recharge ZJ is a happy age. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I am a little bit tired today. I had another dentist appointment this morning, and I did the entire first stream where we were just chit-chatting about things with, like, the lower bridge of my jaw, like, completely numb, and the parts that weren't numb were painful. I had more fillings done on the front here. How does it look? Look good? Yeah. So, I had to drive up into Boston this morning to end my vacation. Looking good? Yeah. Yeah, really trying to take care of these more. Yeah, see? Teeth. They look good. They're beautiful. Heard they might have some issues with connectivity, but eventually they made contact. Any news if it's still on track? I haven't heard anything since. Is it good or bad that we didn't notice any difference? Oh, I powered through it. I have a blasting headache, but we got space news to do, baby. We got space news to do. Think you gonna get rid of me that easy? Huh? Mother trucker? You have to get 3 fillings on Wednesday, and then I got to get 4 wisdom teeth pulled. I had 2 done this morning. There was one that was already filled, and my dentist was like, he was like, yeah. I show up, and he was looking, he was like, let me see your teeth. I'm like, is this good? And he's like, yeah. I say, yeah. Looks like the x-ray. He said, yeah, I did that filling 2 weeks ago. I don't like it. I'm gonna refill it. And then you have a cavity right next to it. I'm gonna refill that too. Is that cool? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, cool. I'm doing it. Dude, I'm not making that up. That's really how that conversation went. And then he finished. He did it. Finished filling in the teeth. He goes, yeah, I quit. He just gets up and walks away. I go, wait a minute. You can't quit. You're fired. He goes, you can't fire me. I already quit. And then walks away. I'm like, all right. All right. No, he refilled that for nothing, Jared, because I'm cool with my dentist. I like that guy. That guy's cool. He's funny guy. Oh, yeah, so I had to drive back talking like Jabba the Hutt when he got zapped by the pod racer. My tongue is fatty. Where's the wrench? Yeah, he goes, yeah, I didn't like that filling. I'm going to fill it. It probably would have been fine, but I don't do probably. I'm like, I like you, dentist man. He's like, I like you too, EJ. I'm like, all right, dentist man. Anyway, yeah, so that's why I took a break, because my mouth hurts, but we'll be okay. I just was on a long vacation. I'll be fine. All right, anyway, back over here. What do we got? So this one's coming from Jeremy Hansen, who was astronaut on Artemis 2 from the Canadian Space Agency. He has a very urgent message. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Today, I am sharing a significant step in my journey. This September, after 32 years of military service and 17 years as a Canadian Space Agency astronaut, culminating in the incredible privilege of flying around the moon on Artemis 2, I will be transitioning from my full-time role at the CSA, Canadian Space Agency. This is far from a departure. My commitment to seeing Canada thrive remains absolute. To ensure continuity in this mission, the Royal Canadian Air Force is enabling my transition into a reservist
Go
role.
at throttle up.
This unique position is a deliberate launchpad designed to leave the door open for creative, ongoing ways to support and enable the vital work happening in Canada with respect to space. And I'm excited for the new challenges it will bring. Our future depends on a fierce continuation of Canadian innovation and exploration in space. The technological breakthrough and economic benefits born from this sector are vital for our country and the world. It's a good day for Canada and therefore the world. And I'm determined as ever to push forward with that work. Push that work forward. To the Canadian Armed Forces, the CSA, NASA, our international partners, and my family, thank you. And to all Canadians, thank you for believing in what our country can achieve when we aim high. Well, yeah, you're aiming high. We put you on a really tall rocket. Of course you have to look up. Just saying. The mission continues, Canada flag. Trent Zach, 12-month resub. Thank you. It's Nord Space, isn't it? I really hope not. Well, hey, flew around the moon. I'd be kind of okay with that. I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'm good. You know, that's good for Jeremy. I'm sure he'll do good wherever he goes. But yeah, I don't think he was going to get another mission anytime soon. Well, there's plenty of other capable Canadian astronauts.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Josh Kutrick, Jenny Gibbons, two that come to mind. Phenomenon, hey, what's up, man? 90 months, happy 90, happy birthday. Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
No more humans, only Americans. Okay. Crawdad, what's up? 91-month resub. Thank you. Okay.
Discovery, go
So,
at throttle up.
another bit of rocket review here. SpaceX has changed the name of the company. Denny, 95-month resub. Thank you. They've changed the name of the company. They are no longer Space Exploration Technologies. They changed the name to SpaceX AI. Or Space Eye. You've never worn hats. You bought your first hat. It's an F1
No, it's not.
McLaren hat. It's nice. Oh, this is just XAI? Okay. XAI renamed to SpaceX AI. All right, good. I'm glad that SpaceX didn't change it. It certainly looks like it, but anyway. Okay, who wants to share it? Grok did it without asking permission. Oh, jeez. Hey, Burbs, 80-month resub. Thank you. Well, that's good. That's good that they did that. That's good that that's just SpaceX. That's not XAI, but I'm happy, and I'm really, really happy to be wrong about that. To erroneously report that. That's one of the few times I'll ever say that. So that's good. SpaceX stock is doing okay right now. Okay. It's doing alright. The main SpaceX account still exists. Hey, Lev, 82-month resub. So, I mean, they're up 2.1% today. Everybody's up today, which is pretty cool. Pretty neat. Anyway, So, this is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about that we really didn't get a chance to discuss too much. I did do the Atlas LAO8 stream, which I'm still very disappointed in United Launch Alliance for doing what they did. The last Atlas V launch, guys, happened on Wednesday, on the 1st. I believe it was the 1st of July. I don't know. I lost track of time. Vacation. What do you want? So they launched the last Atlas rocket and then cut the feed before second stage engine cutoff. At the behest of our customer, we will not be streaming the rest of this launch. The last Atlas V 500 series went out with a cut feed. That was very annoying, to say the least. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, though. The reason why it doesn't make a lot of sense is because they said, "Oh, at the behest of the customer, we don't want to stream this." But the LAO7 mission, the Amazon Leo 7 mission on Atlas launched. They showed that whole mission, every single satellite deploy. You still think they had something extra? That's possible. It was all Amazon, no classified. Yeah, they showed the entire mission before, so it's not like we don't know what they're doing, right? Like, it's not like we don't know what they're doing. We know how the satellites deploy. We know how they deploy them in pairs, etc., etc. I was just really kind of bummed that they did that. That's really stupid. The last Atlas V launch goes out with Amazon basically saying no. That was the last Centaur 3 flight. Last Centaur 3 for single engines. Now, don't get me wrong. There still is Atlas 5s left. There's 5 of them. Well, no, it's either 5 or 6. It's one or the other. Forgive me. I'm a little rusty off the top of my head. Been doing normie stuff for the past week. Maybe they saw the backlash from the mid-launch ad. Yeah, but not doing the whole thing is just completely missing the point. But whatever, if that was the case. So, there is still... It's either 5 or... No, it's 6. There are 6 Atlas 5s left. All of the remaining Atlas 5s are in the Not 22 configuration to launch Starliner. So, there is Atlas 5s left. It's just that there's no more Atlas 5 500s. That was the last one. Hey, Angry Medic.
I'm in space.
Gifted 5 subs. Thank you very much. Boom supersonic news regarding engines. Okay. So, we did get to... I was going to talk about Blue here, but we can do a quick detour with a bomb supersonic. So, got some stuff from the space station, etc., etc. All right, so what's Blake Scholl up to? Let's take a look.
Boom,
Discovery,
Supersonic
go at throttle up.
Q2 investor update. Wow, what a difference a quarter makes. Last quarter I stood here and
Stop it,
showed you a
Gillicuddy.
construction site. This quarter I get to show you an engine construction site. We've made incredible progress finishing the facility and getting the first Symphony Superpower engine actually into the build process. But before I show you that engine, let's pull the camera back and set the context. Our complete focus as a company now is on delivering our supersonic technology on the ground for behind-the-meter power generation. That is Superpower, a small modular turbine designed for behind-the-meter power generation for AI companies with the best performance. Doesn't derate with temperature, requires 0 drops of water, allows AI companies to make their own electricity rather than have to pull it from the grid. This is what every hyperscaler is looking for now, and the demand continues to be insatiable. We will be able to fill as many orders as we possibly can, as quickly as we can actually produce these units. So, speaking of producing these units, here's the first one. This is the high pressure compressor spool of the first engine. And what you're seeing here is the first two blisks, those are discs with integrated blades, have been assembled. The stage 3 blisk is on its way here now. As soon as it arrives, 3, 4, 5, and 6 go on here. Within the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a fully assembled high pressure compressor rotor. Okay, the harder part of the engine is not the compressor, it's the turbine. Let's take a look at Symphony's high pressure turbine. This is the fully assembled HPT rotor for the first engine. And the most challenging part of that is this right here. This is the turbine blade. These operate at a temperature above the melting point of the metal that they're made out of.
Holes in the HPT. Impressive. Impressive. Most impressive.
Made out of. So how does that work?
Nice.
They're actually hollow on the inside. They're cooling passages. We did this one with 3D printing on our own vertically integrated equipment.
Well now. Well, look at you, Boom. All right.
Cooling air comes in here. It comes out through these tiny little cooling holes. There are 248 of these. This blade is first 3D printed. Then these holes are EDM cut very precisely, very small holes that allows the blade to be enveloped in cooling air that allows it to operate above the melting point of the metal. So what do we need to pull this off? Well, we've demonstrated we can design an engine. We've demonstrated we can manufacture the components for the engine. We're demonstrating we can put them together into an assembled product. What's next? Well, we have to be able to acquire the raw materials and critical systems at scale, and then be able to vertically integrate that manufacturing at scale. So where are we on that? We actually have on dock one of the most difficult to get materials, which is powder metal superalloy. We have a formulation to our spec that we call Boomalloy, and we have 2 gigawatts of that, not on order, received on dock. The Bloom supply chain team did an incredible job there. The initial supplier quoted lead time was 77 weeks. We made a deal the day after Christmas. We got it down to 7 weeks, and that material is actually received. Next, a really important thing, single crystal alloy. Again, we have a custom formulation that is a 4th generation single crystal superalloy. We'll talk more about that later, but we've got 400 megawatts of that on dock. Next, critical systems, generators. Generators are hard to get. We have 1.3 gigawatts of generators on firm order. And what we're doing is we're working down that list of critical materials, starting with the most difficult and working our way to the easiest and knocking them off. And what we're finding is consistently we can overcome the raw material supply chain challenges with focus, effort, speed, dedication. Okay, what about manufacturing? The traditional aerospace supply chain just can't move at boom speed. They can't meet our cost, quality, schedule targets. We take on that work ourselves. And number one, that allows us to actually deliver and scale. And number 2, it allows us to iterate. When we can turn parts from a digital design to a completed part in hours under our own roof with technicians and design engineers working hand in hand, that's where the real magic happens. So I'd like to show you some of that progression. The first thing we made in our own factory is this. This is a Symphony Stage 5 compressor stator. This is the easiest of the difficult parts. You can always tell where a blade is in the engine because of the height. The shorter blades are at the back of the engine where the air has been more compressed, and the bigger blades are at the front before more compression has happened. So this is stage 5. This is the easiest one. Now let me show you the hardest vane in the engine. This is a stage 2 variable guide vane. This sits between the first and second stage compressors, and it actually
hydrocoptic nozzle vanes.
pivots on its axis here, depending on the speed and power of the engine to get the airflow going in the right direction. So basically you go through one compressor stage, you compress the air, now the air is headed a little bit of a funny direction. These guide vanes point it right at the next direction to go into the next compressor stage. So what's hard about this? It starts as a cylinder of metal and then has to be cut down, removing almost 99% of the metal in that process. And it has to do it with incredibly precise tolerances. So the profile tolerance on that leading edge there is about 1/1000th of an inch. And there's also a need for high concentricity between these two nubs. This goes in the engine. There are dozens of these blades, and they need to rotate together. So these two have to be in precise alignment. We've mastered the process for making these, and now our job is to scale it while holding tolerance. And so the team is working daily to take time out of the manufacturing process so you can make lots of blades in volume quickly, or making great progress on that. Next up, most difficult part, is the turbine blade. So this is one of these blades that goes in this engine, and for the first prototype engine, we are 3D printing these, which allows us to go from a digital design to a part very quickly. We can 3D print a ship set of turbine blades in about 36 hours. So it's a pretty quick process from there. Then there's a little bit of post-processing, and then they can go on the engine. Supply chain would take about 9 months to do that. We can do it much, much faster, vertically integrated. Now, of course, a 3D printed part, this is super impressive. It's made out of a super alloy called Haynes 282. It's a nickel-based super alloy. This allows us to validate the aerodynamics and the construction of the engine, but it won't stand up for full life at high temperature in production. For that, we have single crystal. And this really brings back...
So Haynes 282 is a premium gamma prime strengthened nickel chromium cobalt super alloy. Nickel chromium cobalt. Nice.
To a bigger story, which is about enabling iteration. The reason historically that software has moved quickly and hardware has moved slowly is the cost of change in software is low, but the cost of change in hardware is high. And the way you enable small teams to build incredible hardware quickly and to make it the best in the world quickly is to enable iteration in the world of bits and iteration in the world of atoms. And we're attacking both of those head on. The team has built a tool that we call Blade Runner, which enables rapid design iteration of engine blades. Historically, this is something that takes about 4 teams, hundreds of people, months to iterate on. You need aerodynamicists doing hand calcs and aerodynamic analysis. You need structures people doing structures analysis. You need drafters that can go from blade spec to CAD, driving the CAD. And then you need thermodynamicists that can look at how the blade is going to expand and contract with operating temperature changes. Those 4 disciplines in an iteration loop, we're talking dozens or hundreds of engineers, months for an iteration cycle. Well, we've got Blade Runner, and Blade Runner allows one engineer in real time to change the shape of a turbine blade, automatically get new geometry, in real time run both aerodynamic and structural simulations, and see exactly how that design change is going to affect performance of the engine. This is a capability that literally reduces what would take hundreds of people months to one engineer in real time. That is iteration in the world of bits.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. That's, okay.
Iteration in the world of atoms, that's the digital manufacturing that we're talking about. Whether we're doing subtractive manufacturing, whether in-house machining capability, whether we're doing digital investment casting, like we're pursuing with single crystal, or additive manufacturing, 3D printed parts, like we've done for the prototype engine here. Okay, so let's take a step back again. Engineering on track, manufacturing on track, assembly on track, supply chain on track, market overwhelming. What do we have to do? We have to scale. So the building we're standing in here today is where we're going to make the first Symphony Superpower units that will ship to customers. But to do this at scale, we need a much, much bigger facility. Let's teleport over there and take a look at that. Boom! Welcome to the Superpower Super Factory. Last quarter, this was a signed lease. Now we've actually finished construction. I'm standing here on one of the completed pads for our machines. Each of these pads is a 4 feet deep concrete reinforced foundation to enable these machines to be vibrationally isolated from all the rest, but also to take a tremendous amount of weight. Each of these machines can be as much as 100,000 pounds. We've already started receiving the first machines. A whole extra wave comes next week. By the end of July, we'll be making our first production parts in our scaled factory. It's onward and upward from here. So let's remember that big picture. Over the last year, it's about going from 0 to 1, taking the Symphony engine design originally intended for a supersonic airplane, adapting it for ground power, getting that first engine birthed, and in parallel, standing up our production facility so we can build these engines at scale. That's what the next 12 months is. It's about it becoming America's next great industrial company, about making turbines great and getting them in the hands of our customers. Thank you all very much for your support, and thanks for coming along for the ride.
Wow. Oh,
we can go from number 2, a second order. What about manufacturing? Can't film a fucking video in a manufacturing facility because we keep manufacturing shit.
Yeah, that math checks out. All right, I'm pretty damn impressed there. That's pretty cool, man. It's good to see not vaporware from Boom. That's actually super cool. The reason, okay, so let me give some folks some context here. The reason why this is cool is because, okay, so Boom Supersonic is a company that's trying to make supersonic transports. So they originally flew around their XB1 prototype here, right? They originally flew around their XB1 prototype to test, building a supersonic kind of demonstrator. And now they're looking to build another plane. So the XB1 had a whole flight test program. We actually streamed it, which is pretty cool. We streamed their test missions. They only ended up really doing one in real time, but doesn't matter. But that was a tech demo to demonstrate this thing. That's Overture. Overture is going to be the first supersonic transport design in the United States since the Boeing 2707. Convair 990 Coronado, if you really want to be technical when it comes to supersonic transporters. So they're working on the Symphony engine for Overture. And that's the parts that you saw right there. But here's the thing. What Boom originally was going to do is buy engines. They were going to buy engines from people. They weren't going to make the design in-house. They weren't going to make Symphony. I do believe they had GE on board. I don't remember exactly. I think it was GE to give them engines, and then they could, make them into a supersonic transport. It was Rolls-Royce. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I was half right. It's one or the other. It's not how that works. So it was Rolls-Royce, and Rolls-Royce pulled out of the program. So from there, they said, screw it, we'll make our own engines. And that's when they rolled out Symphony, right? The Symphony engines for Overture. Now, a little while back, they decided that they're going to market the Symphony engine as a small modular power pack for AI, right? That was the whole idea there. They're going to basically take Symphony engines that they were going to use for Overture. They will still use them for Overture, but use them as portable AI power packs so you can scale up your own power in-house, right? And basically make a gas turbine version of Symphony. And that's the parts that you see right here. It's very, very cool to see them going into engine development and actually showing us some flight hardware here. Do you think Cessna will follow through their hat in the supersonic market? The Citation X broke the sound barrier multiple times during testing in the 90s. Unlikely. Probably not. Maybe, though. I don't know. So, to see Blake Scholl, the CEO, roll out with some, I mean, it's not flight hardware, but they're definitely high-fidelity prototypes for their first test mule engine, right, is really, really cool. Boom has been, since, I'll be honest with you guys, since the XB1, Boom has been a lot, there's a lot of flapping, a lot of yapping, and not enough building. So it's really cool to see Blake come out with this video that has engine hardware in it. That's really cool, man. I'm impressed. That's some pretty, this is some pretty trick stuff too. Variable nozzle vanes right there to help channel flow over, I believe he said compressors. And then there's two compressors right there. And then they had the high pressure turbine, or HPT for short. They've sourced the materials for scaling, which is fantastic. Look at that thing. That's very good, man. Those are really nice turbines. Citation 10. Yeah, I know. Yeah, see? With I would guess bleed air film cooling, but very, very cool, man. That's really neat. That's real trick stuff. Bleed air from the last compressor stages. Yep, pre-combustor. Yeah, exactly. I do believe, guys, I could be pulling this one completely out of my tail. I do believe that the gas turbine version of Symphony that's designed to generate power, I do believe it runs off LNG, but I'm not sure. Either that or propane or whatever. Which bits are 3D printed? They were all subtractive manufacturing. They were all subtractive manufacturing and additive manufacturing. There were no cast parts there from what I could tell. At least the parts that he showed off were not cast. So. Still wondering where they get their single crystals. There's 2 independents in the US, 1 in India, 1 in China. Is a turbine engine the same thing as a jet engine? Yes. How am I doing, Clayton? I'm doing just fine. Nursing a little bit of a headache right now, but you know what? Let's fix it with some pills. Pills here. Out there. Blue or red? I don't think they make blue Advil. You mean Snacky? Happy 4th. It's all in the USA. Yeah, all right. America. Any plans to go to EAA? I'll get back to you on that. Maybe. Believe is blue. Well, you can leave those statements out of my chat. I'm going to talk about that Hinris in a little bit. Are they trying to bring back the Ghost style engine from the Comet? I'm not exactly sure, but once again, look, man, here's the thing about aerospace, dude. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap, and while this isn't a lot of hardware, it's still hardware. And that's Blake Scholl. He's the CEO. He was saying lead times on parts, manufacturing times on parts, and how to scale the parts. Like, the how to scale part is going to be a huge hurdle, because it is with anything that's precision manufactured. But look, man, we have that's pretty high fidelity hardware right there. That's pretty good. If Boom does not add 500 employees here by the end of the year, the airport state of North Carolina can legally give their super factory to somewhere else. Boom did build a super factory in Bluesboro. No, Greensboro. It's over here. Oh, there it is. That one's for building planes. The old Mila side. Interesting
Discovery,
rocket.
go at throttle up.
Paid him 4-month resub. Thank you. So yeah, they're working on it over there, and it's interesting because the taxiway seems to one second, dudes. I've never seen any Boom employees at that facility. Well, the empty parking lot seems to be a good indicator, and the concrete pad not going all the way to the taxiway also seems to be a good indicator of what's happening there. I think they're going to try to pivot to Symphony stuff first, but okay. Sounds like it's another pivot to AI, then do plain stuff later. The idea is that they're using Symphony to scale up engine design, because when Rolls-Royce pulled out of that project, it kind of screwed them. And by kind of, I mean that very much screwed them. So just like 500 employees in general, because there are a lot of openings in Centennial, Colorado, you were looking. I know about 3 to 4 people that work there currently. All right, Woody. Well, they seem to be making some good progress. But, yeah, we'll see where it takes us. I wish them all the best. That would be really cool. What was the reason for Rolls-Royce pulling out of the project? I don't think we ever heard the reason, dude. But as you guys know, it was the 4th of July here in the United States well, it was the 4th of July everywhere, too. But it was the holiday, the 4th of July. U.S. celebrated its 250th anniversary, which is pretty cool. Check this out. This is a picture from the ISS of fireworks over the LA basin. You could see them from space, baby. So that's Long Beach. That's Port of Long Beach right there. That's Huntington Beach. Palos Verdes is over here. Manhattan Beach and Gundo are over here, and then LAX is over there behind that cloud somewhere. This is kind of looking south. South is at the top of your screen. So like Orange County's down here. This is Inland Empire over there. Cajon Pass is over here. Is this real time or a time lapse? I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is more or less real time, dudes. Judging by how the camera's shaking. Look at that, man. That's fantastic. Why not run GE engines? I don't know. You'd have to ask Blake that. Blake is very active on X. You could go ask him. That's pretty damn cool, dude. Look at all the fireworks. You'd get your missile onloads for a destroyer at Seal Beach back in the day. That is down here. I can show you where that is. Well, not that you need to know. I can show everybody else where that is, Stride. Seal's down a little bit further south. So that shot from the ISS is like this. See? Seal Beach is over here. There's a Burke there. The photogrammetry isn't picking up the hull number. Now, the reason why that's kind of cool, dude, and the reason why it's interesting to bring up, just on a quick side note, is because they're, that's the heavy dock where they resupply ships, right? But over here, there's another heavy dock that was used for something else. If you look at this road at this harbor right here, it goes down here, it goes down this road, and it leads right here. This is the former Douglas manufacturing plant that made third stages for the Saturn V. As you can see, it's a very nice field now. Watching all those fireworks makes you think, uh-oh. What would happen to a firework if it was lit from outer space? Will it still do its thing? It'll still do its thing. No, it's solid rocket propellant, dude. It's not the solid rocket propellant that they use in missiles. It's a very it's a gunpowdery solid rocket propellant. Yeah, it'd still do its thing. Nice. The second stage for PLD's Mura 5 rocket? Oh, see what else we got here. Hey Malone, what's up? Mura 5 second stage. Where are the nuclear vessels? Well, they were stealth. They were moored right next to it, Willie. You couldn't see them. Mura 5 is by a company called PLD Aerospace, or PLD Space. PLD Space is a Spanish commercial launch provider. Mura 5 is their next generation launch vehicle after the pretty successful campaign from Mura 1. They're going to move to Mura 5, which is more or less a medium duty launch vehicle. It's light to medium duty. So small sats and whatnot. But still, there's some hardware right there, baby. It's pretty cool. Not the Lamborghini? No. You know why it's called Miura? Because isn't Miura bull in Spanish? All them guys are hammered and howling at the moon right now. Dude, that's kind of an upset. Spain beat Portugal. That's pretty cool. So yeah, they're doing some work, man. All right, so what else do we got here? Give me 1 second. Let me dial this in here. Put that in there like that. All right, so Stoke finally posted more finished pictures of their pad for the America's 250th. Check this out. They have a red launch tower. They have a red launch tower with Old Glory hanging from it. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. Red launch towers are clutch. So, guys, judging by what I'm looking at here, that pad's finished. That pad's finished. It's just a matter of putting the Nova rocket on it and calling it and sending the thing. I'd swim in there when there's no rocket going off. I'd swim in there. I'd swim. Yeah, I'd swim in there. I'd do that. Ooh. Ooh. Dude, the red looks so good, man. Oh, it looks so good. Do they have a water level indicator here on the side? Huh. Cool. Why is 10 the max? Yeah, it should go to 11. I agree. Why does it look like Massey's? Because it's a good way to make a flame bucket, dude. You heard she'll be painted to look like a Mercury rocket. That's kind of cool. Neat. That's pretty awesome, man. So this is Complex 14 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. That's pretty cool, dude. Oh, I like it a lot. Do you think Stoke will not launch before Neutron? Yes. Yeah, I think it will. That's awesome, dude. So here, let me show you guys where this is. So this is former Launch Complex 14. Well, it's still Launch Complex 14. So that's this one right here. Now, once again, this photogrammetric picture is probably about 15 years old at this point, because that's what it looks like now. Complex 14 was originally a Mercury or an Atlas launch site. It was used for the Mercury Atlas missions, sending the first Americans into orbit. John Glenn launched from this pad. Have we got any news from Neutron lately? Rocket Lab seems to be awfully quiet. That's actually my next bit of news that I wanted to share. Rocket Lab. So here, we got a video, but we won't be able to listen to much
Last
of it.
time I was wearing this blue jacket, I was announcing Neutron. So I guess that means there's something important to announce today. But man, this thing shrunk.
Closed captions. I want to introduce you to the space application equation. You've heard Peter Beck talk a lot in the past about applications. Applications. It's where the value truly lies. But in order to exploit the value to the fullest, you need a few other things. First thing is unfitted access to space launch. And of course, your ability to build spacecraft at scale. We've got that too. But there's some really big barriers to building large successful constellations. Spectrum. It's almost impossible. Not all spectrum is created the same. Next thing is it takes a long time to make the infrastructure. Long time to design and build your satellites, and even longer time to get your first dollar of revenue. And finally, it's a long time towards a sustained cash flow model. So those who know me will know that I'm way too impatient for that. We've found some shortcuts. Rocket Lab is acquiring Iridium Communications. Iridium is, well, an on-orbit satellite communications company with the Iridium network that SpaceX just actually finished relatively recently here. Iridium is a sat phone communications company. They use satellite phones. Anytime you see like phones in movies that have that flip up, like fold out antenna, yeah, those. Peter Beck believes it'll be one of the most transformative deals in the space industry. It's the ultimate combination for growth. And if you think back to our little whiteboard session a month ago, this was a deal 1 + 1 = 3, not 2. One being Rocket Lab. We have unfitted access and capability to build spacecraft at scale. We do missions with people that matter. When thinking about Iridium, they already operate constellation spectrum. Not just any spectrum, extremely valuable spectrum. Millions of customers, and they're a profitable business. So where the 3 comes in is the result of these two things is a fully integrated self-launching space superpower that will unlock more growth from Iridium's existing network and build new constellations to unlock new services and market opportunities. This officially is our entrance into the space application market, a thing we've been talking about for a long time now. But to be clear, this is not the finish line. Now we won't just continue Iridium's network as is, we're going to build upon it to unlock new markets and pioneer new space-based services. Rocket Lab's future in space applications has been unlocked and accelerated. Well, with that, I'm off to buy another jacket. That one's too small. That is a ballsy move, dude. My hat is off to Peter Beck there. I like that. That's a good call. That's a real good call. Real good. Yeah, iridium is also big in airplane and marine marine tracking. Yep. Difficult to say, but to me they have overpaid for it. Yeah, sure. Compared to, another proliferated low Earth orbit constellation that has spectrum leases for, interconnected constellations. Those, you could go on Amazon and buy one of those. Oh, wait. No, you can't. Theirs isn't finished. No, I don't think they overpaid at all. One man. I think that's the right move, and I think that the spectrum is really what they're after. Having the leases for a certain bandwidth of frequencies for communication satellites is huge. SpaceX has a huge chunk of that, and Iridium had a lot of it too. Can you link the video, please? Nah, I don't want to link it. I don't like you. You bought a McLaren hat. I'm linking it. Oh. How did their stock go with that announcement? Oh, that's a good question. Keep in mind, fellas, this was last week. So, when did they post that? June 29th. Yeah, it bumped. You can't buy it from Amazon, it's from Temu. Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts on China becoming the second nation to land a first stage? They have an attempt coming up on the 10th with a Long March 10B. Good for them, dude. Cosmolites, I've said this about China looking to reuse stages. Look, it's one thing if SpaceX reuses Falcons and Starships. It's another thing if Blue reuses New Glenn, right? That shows some market trends, and that's kind of nice. But China looking to reuse stages, like with Land Space or Long March 10 or whatever the heck they're trying to reuse over there, that shows that this is not just like kind of a niche market trend. That is the way that the industry is going across nations. And I think that's really good. I think that's a good thing. Dumping stages in the ocean and on people is not cool. We shouldn't do that. They should be reusable. Imagine SpaceX buys Rocket Lab now to get the Iridium spectrums. That's not happening. Iridium is the emergency backup navigation to GPS and global communication. Interesting. So, yeah, if I were any other launch provider, right, that's looking to, use an expendable launch vehicle, I would think twice. Arianespace, I'm looking at you. Lava, I'll say it once, I'll say it again, dude. Ariane 6 is a fantastic launch vehicle if it's 2013. It is a fantastic launch vehicle. Very capable, very good vehicle. If it's 2013. Sorry, man. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know. So, yeah. Rocket Lab acquired Iridium. That's huge. That news dropped basically last week, right after I was like, I'm going on vacation, bye. And Peter Beck's like, I'm not going on vacation here, look at this. And I'm like, oh no. Does SpaceX own a majority of the spectrum now? SpaceX owns a lot of it. They basically bought it from EchoStar, which is like DirecTV. Yeah, they own a good deal of it, but not all of it. They don't have a monopoly on it by any means. To be honest, in your opinion, Ariane 6 is doing really well. It's picked up a better cadence than Vulcan by a lot. Why are you comparing it to Vulcan? Why compare it to Vulcan? It's very curious. Why not compare it to Falcon? Why is that? What if Vulcan is a really good launch vehicle if it's 2013 as well? I'm just pissing everyone off. I'm just pissing everybody off here. Sorry. Sorry. Falcon is a really good launch vehicle if it's 2019. There, I said it. What? Where's the lie? Where's the lie? There ain't no lie. I just want to be proud of something as a European, okay? All right. All right, that's fair. Man who builds and launches no rockets has thoughts on which rockets are good. Yeah, that's called being a critic. The dark side is pleased. It's called being a critic. I'm good at that. All right, just needed to, got a ping over there. All right, needed to fix that. But what are the Rockets' audience score? Oh. No, Falcon is still good. You know why? Because there's nothing else like it. You do not want to hear my thoughts on New Glenn in this context. Or do you? Here's the next bit of news. Oh, can't do that. So, Dave Limp posted this video here showing the revamped New Glenn concept of operations. Why, yes, I believe we do. So, New Glenn is going to be horizontally integrated inside of the IF, the integration facility, but it's not going to be on a transporter erector. First stage will be mated to second stage and then rolled out on a transport breakover device. And what's going to happen is that they're going to lift it from the inner stage with second stage attached into the vertical position. And then crawl the crane up onto a rebuilt transporter erector. Or, well, not transporter erector, launch plate. Glenn Shotwell made a considerable stock donation. Okay. Was it to me? And then they're going to install an umbilical extension structure and processing a processing platform for payload integration. That same crane will be used to lift the payload up and place it on top of the vehicle. Isn't that shuttle derived? It looks like a shuttle launch pad, that's for sure. Launch plate can supposedly be used. It's going to get lifted tonight, I've heard. From what I've seen, rocket science, yeah, it seems okay. The slab, I don't know, man. This part looks like it just fell. Now, guys, I'll be honest. I mean, this will work, but this is exactly what I was talking about. This is... Is using a little crane not weird? Dudes, okay. You can use a crane to do this, Yarg. You could do it. And you can frankly integrate payload like this. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. This is how they did it during the early parts of the Apollo program, man. They built the Saturn 1 stacks right on the pad. Here, I'll show you. This is not unfounded, to be honest with you. If we go into my Saturn research pictures, how they did it back in the day was they built a mobile service tower at Complex 34 called they called it just a bridge crane. And basically it was a structure that can move back and forth, right? And it can move into the payload integration position. I'm trying to find a good picture of it. There it is. Right? And they just have a crane, a gantry crane up there that can just lift it and stack the Saturn 1 into position. Now the thing is I mean, that's just a crane. It's just a bridge crane with this entire structure. I think that if Blue wants to scale New Glenn, they're eventually going to need something like this. Hey, Rosebud. Tier 1 3 months in advance. Thank you. And then eventually they upgraded Complex 34 to be able to handle a Saturn 1B. Yeah, here we go. Now look at the bridge crane structure. Now, it's basically a moving VAB with all the processing stools and whatnot. New Glenn, I think, is eventually probably going to need something similar to this, right? But there's no reason you can't do this. This will work. If you're just mass producing LEO satellites, Amazon LEO satellites, sure, why not? I mean, is it a little bit jank? Yeah. And I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I kind of have my doubts about whether you'll be able to launch frequently with this. I would love to be proven wrong here. But there's nothing saying you can't do that. It is a little bit old school, but you can do it. But Blue is like, you know, people are going to sit there and you're going to be like, oh, they're never going to do that. You can just, I mean, that's what people sound like to me, that when they're not making sense. Their hands kind of been forced. Now, what I've been worried about is that they're trying to build this quickly to show everybody that they can, you know, rebound from a horrible rocket disaster. But the thing is that, look, just because you can get another launch off doesn't mean you can fly frequently. I would very much be wondering, like, are you going to use this to scale? You could. But I'm not thinking that you're going to launch a lot with this configuration, but I could be wrong. Ian, what are you saying? To me, this approach feels like a way to minimize the time to return to flight rather than to rebuild at flight rate. To fly at rate. Yes, that's what I've been saying, dude. I imagine they'll pivot to 36B or slowly upgrade 36A for higher rate once they finally return to flight. That's my guess, dude. They're probably working on the lead times for a mobile service tower to be able to do this a little less jank. But in many ways, like, remember, dude, Ian, you remember back in the day, we made Complex 34, right, in mission mode, right? If you look at how the bridge crane started, their bridge crane at Complex 34 started as basically just an empty truss structure. but they used it. They used it for putting Saturns together, right? And then as they upgraded the rocket and upped the flight rate, to scaling all the way to human flight, they added more service gantries and all this other stuff, right? And then eventually they had a fully crew capable launch structure. See what I'm saying? Pretty spot on. Yeah, that's my guess, dude. There's probably something else in the ConOps that aren't there that the crane is being used for in lieu of having a service structure. If I had to guess, the service structure is probably going to wind up in the position like this is, you have a really wide berth right here. It's probably going to wind up right here and go like this, like the old Titan pads. The Titan pads had the Titan pads on the ITL had a service structure that moved laterally to the rocket. So the rocket was like this and the service structure went to the side. But yeah, that would be my guess here, dudes. This is doable. It's a little jank. It's a little bit old school, but it'll work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Blue is like 1 out of 4 on launches, aren't they? Don't they need to they don't need to introduce more jank into their situation? Dean, that's been my argument this whole time. Turbo. That's been my argument the whole time here, dudes. That look, you're trying to prove that you can return to flight is not really achieving your goals. Other than saying, look, we returned to flight in 6 months. Look at how good we are at business. Like, it's like, okay. I'd be worried about scaling rate from here, but we'll see. I mean, look, let me put it to you like this, dudes. If you were just launching Amazon Leo satellites here, right? Not like a Blue Moon lander or whatever, even though they're on the hook for that. You could get away with this. You could use this to probably... Let me think. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do at least once a month with this design. You could probably go higher. You could do once a month with this. It's doable. You'd have to have enough cores and enough upper stages. You'd need enough GS2s and payloads to make it happen, but you could do once a month with this. Sure, no problem. Like I said, you could probably go lower. Goalie, you think 2 weeks. That's why I said at least a month. You could get off 12 launches with this a year. That's no problem. That isn't a thing. It's not like Pad 40 with Falcon 9 where they want to launch every 2 days. At least not yet. They ought to be building another IF right now. Personal, really weird, unpopular opinion. I think Blue needs to start figuring out a mobile launcher design. They need to figure out an ML design. You really want to scale with vertical integration, mobile launchers are the way to go. Especially when you're getting into the super heavy lift realm, like with, 7x2 now and 9x4. MLs would probably be a good way to scale your flight rate. At least have 2 mobile launchers, or, pads are the other way to do it. Customers apparently like the lift with the crane more than the horizontal to vertical. It's easier design. Yeah, Sawyer, look, I'm not trying to say that I have experience here. I have experience here virtually, but vertical integration is 1,000 times easier when you make a bigger rocket. 1,000 times easier. I mean, look at SpaceX with Starship. Great example, right? Yeah, Poison. Look, they might be able to do it in 6 months, but their flight rate will be very low, at least initially, with this pad design. It'll be very low. The only way that this, and once again, another additional thought that I've had here, the only way that this makes sense, guys, is if they already had plans to do this with New Glenn, they just kind of push them forward. Hey, Rosebud, $5 super chat. Hoping to figure out how to extend my Twitch membership in the meantime. Oh, thank you. More curious about environmental control with the varying payload joined to the second stage. Yep. I can't imagine they had this design planned before the boom. Maybe not this exact one, Yarg, but they definitely planned on making New Glenn a vertically integrated rocket eventually. I also noticed that the rocket is 90 degrees rotated from the TE position. But yeah, if I was going to build a service tower, it'd probably end up going over here and rolling back to about here. Just saying. Maybe they'll upgrade the tower so they can support a catch. No. I don't know, dude. It's doable, guys, and I'll be honest. Dave posted this. He posted this the other day. The cranes are taking apart the tower. They're taking the segments apart, as predicted. This whole thing has to come apart. Now, Blue said that it has to come apart so they can modify it, and that's fair. It needs to come apart because there's a piece of the bottom of it missing because it got blown away by a transport erector. Are you watching Star City? No, I don't watch trash. Will they paint it red? I hope so. Yeah, I believe Space Coast Live has... Yeah, there it is. Cranes are working out there. They have 2 lattice cranes, actually 3 in the works there. What don't you like about it? I don't know. I've never seen it. Never seen it. I know it's a spin-off of For All Mankind. I don't like For All Mankind, so I probably won't like that either. It says Happy Independence Day from NSF. Next launch Starlink 10-50. Net July 5th, 6:46 a.m. Is that a fairing in the IF there? Looks like it. Huge storm just rolled through, so they paused for a bit. Sawyer, yeah, yeah. The guys, like I said, it's doable. Yeah, they had a big old flag. I walked into a county courthouse square. See an old man just sitting there. Said, your courthouse is a little run down. He said, nah, that'll do for this town. No? It's a good song, man. I think the biggest W from all this is that they confirmed the stages in the HIF are okay. Did they confirm that? So around the tower now, they have 2 CC-8800s and 1 Liebherr 11-350. 1 Liebherr 11-300 and 2 MCL 650s and another one I can't remember. How do we tell him? They did. Sorry, man. They're... Shifty, you got to see Project Hail Mary? Hell yeah, dude. I think Never Tell Me the Odds is okay, but I'm fairly confident the 3 GS2s that were in there were not great. The only thing that made Never Tell Me the Odds survive was the fact that its engine section was facing the detonation. The upper stages, not so much. Hear about the Ford employee that got fired for stealing a cookie from a vending machine? Yeah, and then he showed his bank statement to Ford. And, Ford's like, oh, sorry, our bad. Here, we'll hire you back at the same wage we were paying you before. And he said, yeah, no, I'm good. Bye. I'd be very worried if I was Blue Origin about using anything in that integration facility. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 3 GS2s that were in there are broken. Like I said, the only thing that saved Never Tell Me the Odds is that its engine section was facing the detonation, and that's designed to take a hit. The tooling and the jigs, I wouldn't worry about it. Seriously, all the tooling is all solid steel. That's gonna be fine. It's just aluminum. Aluminum doesn't react well to detonation. A lot of things in here don't react well to bullets. Inhibit, thank you for getting the Johnny Cash reference. Come to think of it, I do like to brag that I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. Dave Limp bought aluminum tubes! Do I have to tell you what the frick you can do with an aluminum tube? Aluminum! That stuff is gross! Think of it. Rockets going up, landing on a barge, and then standing up straight, so erect. That stuff is gross! Sorry. I'm fine. So yeah, they did put a flag up there for the 4th, but they do need to take this thing down. They're gonna take it all apart and they're gonna modify it as they repair the tower, which, I mean, it'll work. It'll work. There is more. So yeah, like I said, Blue's con ups, I mean, it'll work. You're not gonna get very high flight rate from that right away, but it'll work. And it is kind of what we theorized, which is nice. Give me one moment. Ah, yes. Here it is. So there's the piece with the flag. This was the other day. Air night. Good night. Don't let that flag touch the ground. I don't like that. I don't like that. Don't like that. Anyway, what else was I looking for here? Yeah. SpaceX put all those flags on their Starship towers too. That's a pretty nice flag. What I'm looking for here is what SpaceX is doing at, yeah, there's Blue disassembling the tower. Where is it? 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 We'll look at that in a moment. Here, let's do this. Give me 1 second. That's what I'm looking for. This picture from Julia Bergeron here. So as one tower gets destacked, another one gets stacked. That's complex 37, guys. There's 4 segments up at complex 37. That's the Saren's. That's the Saren's crane. That was the CC-8800. That was building Mobile Launcher 2. Pretty crazy, right? Look it, they already have the carriage out there. The chopsticks are out there. You can see them sitting over there. How tall is that crane? 600, 700, 650, somewhere around there. Is that the 13,000 or the CC-8800? Did the CC-8800, did the 8800 go to blue or what? I'm having trouble keeping track. That's a Buckner crane. So it's a 13,000 then. Nice. Dude. That's where you're heading out. From now on, we are enemies. In all seriousness, may the best man win. Hashtag easy win. My hopes are not high, Daitor, but I hope you lose, you son of a... No, let's go, man. This is cool. Dude. Soccer hooked me, and I hate that it did, but it hooked me. It's fun to watch when people don't flop. It's fun to watch. It's a fun game. I like it because I like sports, and that's really annoying, and I'm really conflicted about this. You know? Really conflicted about this. But also, damn it, now that's another freaking sport that I have to freaking keep track of. So actual football. No, it's called soccer. The Australians call it soccer too. Nobody gives them crap. I think you guys are just jelly. You're just jelly of countries that begin with A. Australia, America, just saying. I think you're just jelly. I know, Ian, it's freaking annoying, dude. Like, but, you know, it's fun to watch. I mean, I'm still going to watch America Ball, right? Like, but also, it is fun to watch. This World Cup has also been a banger. The last one was not this exciting. Yeah. Jake, I think I misunderstood which pad was being talked about. The 13,000 is at 37. The CC-8800 is at 36. Can you believe that, dudes? No, it is football, not soccer. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's soccer. All right? All right? You heard about the HARP gun in Barbados by NASA. The HARP gun? You're talking about the battleship,
Discovery,
the battleship
go and
gun? It's coming home. It's what it... Oh, cope and seethe, dude. Cope and seethe. Although that was a good game. That was a good game last night. That was a good game. If we lose tonight, we pull out of NATO. Actually, that's the other thing that That's the other thing that I noticed. That the rest of the world takes soccer very seriously. Very seriously. Like we would take our football very seriously. They really don't like when there's some shenaniganry going down. Search at Hartford, Barbados. Daquan, I know. I know what it is, dude. I don't want to talk about that. Germany, though. Yeah, Neuer is a little old. Like me. Can we just annex Belgium if we lose, so then we win anyways? Like cards being pulled? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Football brings out the worst in people. Dude, they, yeah, the rest of the world takes this very seriously. And I kind of appreciate it because, like, dude, I love sports and I take sports really seriously. You guys have seen me go on my diatribes about the Bruins and the Patriots and the Red Sox, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, I like sports. My parents made me play sports. I played everything. I even played soccer. Not very long, though. And I was very young, so whatever. Do you think the Congo will support Belgium? Unlikely. That red card was BS, so it's all fair that it was pulled. Yeah. I think, speaking as an American, and I'm very much an outsider to this sport, I'm fairly confident that other countries and other teams just want some continuity from FIFA, which I can very much understand. Apparently, it's worse than the FIA, which is something I do understand. I don't like the FIA. I don't like them at all. FIFA's like that, but where's the... okay. Like, this kind of stuff? Like, no. I think they're just looking for continuity, which I can understand and respect. With that being said, Balogun's probably going to play, and it's probably going to be guys, there's probably going to be a fight. I'm not going to lie to you. This USA-Belgium game is probably going to devolve into fisticuffs. Inconsistent officiating is the worst in any sport. Correct. I mean, they pulled Ronaldo's red card from what I understand. He had a red card from a match with Ireland. And he wasn't supposed to play in the first couple of games for Portugal.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Lig. Welcome back, Mr. EJ. I'm new here. Are you, though? So, I don't know, dudes. It's... Guys, here's the thing. I can't really... I feel like if I weighed in on this, I would be weighing in on a sport that I've been watching for a week. Like, actually sitting down and watching games for like a week, so I don't really know. I kind of get where the Belgians are coming from, but also I'm not rooting for the US. Like, that's not happening. Sorry. Sorry. Just against tainted interference. Like I said, continuity of the rules, sir. I very much understand that. Yeah, sure. Bad officiating makes baseball, basketball, and our football terrible. It makes it objectively not fun to watch, and I get it. That being said, I'm not rooting for the U.S., dude. I'm sorry. We've never been here before. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That kind of sucks, right? But also, that's fine. Might as well enjoy their last night in the tournament. You shut your filthy, disgusting hooligan mouth. Yeah, people take, you guys take this way serious. And you know what, dude? I'm not trying to say that to denigrate it. I'm not trying to say that to be a jerk. I'm saying that, like, I can appreciate that. I appreciate that that's cool, man. That's cool. You should take it serious. Sports are fun. Sports are fun, and trash talking is amazing. I love it. USA versus England final. Oh my goodness, dude. the universe might explode if that happens. But dudes, I'm not sure we're making it to the final, especially with France, Spain, and England in the mix, and Norway too. Like, maybe not. You know. You know. Honestly, lots of people would have supported the USA. Now all non-USA fans hate you, which is sad. Well, I mean, FIFA said they were existing rules, dude, but I don't know enough about soccer to know whether that's bullcrap or not, dude. Sorry. You know? Loss reversals next, perhaps? Yeah, dude, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where does it end? Like, and once again, from what I can understand, FIFA very much seems like the FAA. You know, I could think of very specific recent circumstances where the FAA made some bullcrap rulings and it affected a championship. No, Mikey, no, this is so not right. Mike, don't do this. No, it's so not right. You know what I'm talking about? So, like, I get it. But that being said, I'm not rooting for the U.S. team. Sorry. Like, yeah, it's bullcrap, dude. But sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. You know what I mean? Kind of sucks. Is it normal in USA Sports to pull back the consequences of a red card? No, Steve-Ola, absolutely not. No, we don't do that. No. Yeah, there has been some. So, okay, one thing I'm noticing about soccer is that there's a lot of subtleties. There's a lot of little subtle rules that you can and can't do. Like, it doesn't matter if you're making, like, okay, in the case of, like, getting a red card, it doesn't matter if you're trying to make a move on the ball. You put your cleat at somebody's shins or at somebody's knees, get the frick out. Like, I get that. I understand that. That's fair. You know, like, just red card, get out of here, you know? Like, there's a lot of subtleties to this. In American football, there's a lot of subtleties, too, to hand ick. That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of small stuff, like differences in penalties, like what offsides is in American football versus encroachment versus neutral zone infraction. Those are three rules that seem very similar, but they're not. Like, and if you don't need to follow American football to really understand what I'm talking about, like, there's a lot of times in American football where misinterpretation of the rules has screwed the outcome of a game. But here's the thing. You know, you live and die by the sword. So with American football, right, if you got a bad call, like I always say, like, if the difference between you losing and winning a game is whether is a bad call, you probably didn't play good enough. That's in American football, though. That doesn't necessarily apply here, but the point is, it's like, yeah, there's inconsistent calls, right? But that's the one thing you can be absolutely sure about, that you're going to get inconsistent calls. Does that make sense? Not sure, once again, not entirely sure if that applies here. Kinda does, kinda doesn't. But yeah, there have been many Super Bowls that have been robbed from teams from bad calls. Like, it happens. Like, that's a thing, dudes. FIFA's made some really bad decisions, but the biggest difference is that now politics was directly involved in the outcome of the tournament, which has never happened. Well, yeah, I mean, FIFA said, they released that statement that said that this is an existing rule about VAR and stuff, like not reviewing the VAR in the correct order. That is an existing rule. But see, here's the thing. When is the last time that was enforced? That sounds like a very obscure rule that's put in for subjective interpretation in case the poop hits the fan. Seahawks Steelers in the Super Bowl. There you go. It's a relatively new rule. Yeah, it's a rule that's never been used, but it is a rule nonetheless. If they if they made a rule like in the past 2 weeks that said this and then rescinded the red card, I'd be like, all right. So why did they suspend the punishment until next year, not vacate it? Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't see some bull crap here, dudes. Like, for sure. Like, but also, like I said, in American football, you kind of live and die by the sword. This kind of bull crap happens all the time, and it's just all right, whatever. I will say this, dudes. I will say this. Red cards are brutal. Like, that is brutal. Your player gets ejected this game and the next, and then you have to play a player down. You know what, man? I actually kind of like that rule. I kind of like that rule. I'm not going to lie to you. That's pretty sick. It's a pretty good rule. All right, fine. You want to dive at that dude's legs? Sure, go ahead. Do it. Now you have to play a player down, and now you don't get to play in the next game. I actually kind of like that rule. That's dude, that's brutal. That is a brutal rule. That's brutal punishment. It's like a power play in hockey, but worse. The suspending the suspension is a loophole. Yeah, it sounds like subjective rules that are there in case something like this happens, which tells me that FIFA is full of crap. Like the FIA. You would like to see the Lions go to the Super Bowl. And people in hell want ice water, Clayton. Article 27 came out in 2023. There you go. Blue has zeroed in on an engine that started the anomaly. Center engine, rocket science. Yeah, Super, I got you. Mm-hmm. FIFA shouldn't be bending to the president? Oh. I don't really know what you want me to say in regards to that. I have nothing to say. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. But see, here's the thing. There's no way to conclusively say whether that happened or not, you know? It sucks. But we'll see. We'll see how this game goes. Messi during this World Cup had a red card ban suspended. People are just complaining because they don't like the U.S. But yeah, but Hellfish, I don't think Javier Milei went and complained to FIFA. You know what I mean? That's what people are rip poop about. That's a good point, Yarg, yeah. The head of FIFA is from Argentina. Oh, dude, oh man, you guys gotta fix this. This is ridiculous. Precedent exists for suspending the ban because FIFA is the arbiter of just application of the rules, dude. Like, I'm not trying to argue against you. I can see both sides of this for sure. With that being said, fellas, I'm not voting for the U.S. Like, or rooting for them. That's definitely a thing. Sorry. Interest in the game in an hour is peaked since the event has this betting for FIFA. This is great. There you go, man. Outside, I believe, a new one too. Might have been a systematic issue that finally bit us. Yeah, I mean, rocket science. I mean, you've heard what I've said about that, dude. At some point, you're gonna have to standardize. I wouldn't be introducing new engines like that without a robust testing regime after 4 flights. I don't think after 3 previous flights. I don't think that's a good idea. They are the arbiters of justice. They are the arbiters of peace. Right. That's a good way to say that. I don't know, dudes. We'll see how it plays out. They also wanted to sweep it away because the ref got caught match fixing. Oof. The Belgian fans are chanting they want Waffle House in Seattle. The Belgian fans want Waffle House? Why? Why? Why do you... Why would you... Why would you want that? Belgian waffles, hello. But Waffle House is not Belgian waffles, though. Belgian waffles, dude. I don't think people from Belgium want Waffle House Belgian waffles, guys. I don't think. I'm just putting it out there. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think they want Waffle House, man. And I love Waffle House, but I'm fairly confident they have better waffles over there. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Like, I'm pretty sure, dude. I wonder if the Belgians even dig waffles. No, Belgian waffles are absolutely a thing, and they are really good. Yeah. Italians should want our pizza. Their pizza sucks. As an ethnic Italian, Detroit pizza beats everything. I'm sorry. It's Sicilian-style pan pizza, and it's freaking delicious, and I'm not sorry. Italian pizza's different, though. I've had Napolitano pizza, like Neapolitan pizza, in Naples. In I was about to say in Florida. In Italy, and it's good. It's just, it's different. It's not the same. Our pizza and their pizza is not, that's not the same thing, dude. As an ethnic Irishman, Guinness beats all. Yingling is piss. Way to compare lager and a stout. Good job, dude. You just compared pasta to freaking calzones. Good job. Next time you come to San Francisco, I'll get you San Francisco sourdough pizza. No, I don't want that. It probably has avocados on it, you damn hippie. Kind of off topic. I'm looking at City Skylines right now because it's on sale. Would you recommend it? City Skylines 1 is great because it has insane mod content, Bargon. You could literally, it adds millions of hours to the game, like KSP. Your Northeasterner card is revoked. Whatever, man. You want to get rid of me? I'll gladly go be a Michigander. That's fine. Sure. You want to get rid of me? Share how they're different. So Italians make the Italian pizza makes the dough a little bit different. The sauce is completely different. It's the Neapolitan pizza that I had was made in a brick oven. Detroit pizza is made in a metal oven. It's in a pan versus not in a pan. The closest pizza in North America to like actual Italian pizza is New York style, which is thin crust. You could make it in a brick oven, or you could make it in a regular oven with the spit, right, with flour on it, and you slip the dough into the oven. You slip the pie, and you cook the pie right on the oven. Yeah, Livern, it's as long as they're still alive, it's okay. Be honest, would you really say no to a free pizza? No, it's pizza, dude. I don't give a frick what it is. It's pizza. Pizza's delicious.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
We have enough Sicilians here. We don't disrespect pizza like that. You want stuff like that, go to Marin County. I knew. Thank you. Damn hippies. Anyway. Pizza's like beer. The best kind is free. I agree. Used to dough toss a long time ago. I can do that, dudes. I know how to make New York style. I worked in a pizza place. I have worked in multiple pizza places throughout my life. I have a lot of experience in the food service industry. You know, you want to toss the dough? I can do that. Toss it and spread the dough? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Sure. Haven't done it in a while, but I can do it. I have 2 links. Ooh. The second one, though. What do we got here? Rocket Factory, Augsburg. At Saxavord. 9 Helix engines installed. All right. All right. I have an extensive collection of name tags and hairnets. Yeah, sure. Right, dude. That's pretty good. Pretty good. And then the other one was this. More rocket hardware. Artemis 4 hardware is on the moon. Move. Teams recently moved the LOX tank that will form part of the SLS core stage for Artemis 4. Very nice. He's tank. He's nice. Oh, man, shut up. You're making me hungry. All right. Why have you never played Cooked Served Delicious? Because I do it in real life, dude. Detroit style pizzas. Just. It's so goddamn good. So when you make pizza in a pan, dudes, when you make it in a pan, when you do this way, what you need to do is when you do it, you glaze the pan, right? And you put the dough in the pan and then you put the dough in the freezer. Well, not in the freezer. You put it in the fridge, right? It'll rise a little bit, but the dough gets very puffy, right? It gets puffy and flaky, which is really it just gets puffy. It gets flaky when you put it in the oven, right? Then you take the pan out, put the pizza in, or put the sauce on, put the cheese on, put whatever you want, and then you cook it in the oven. That's why, like Jets, for instance, Jets is really puffy because they let the dough rise in the pan for a little while. That's why Jets is amazing. Jets does that. There's not many other places that do that. Papa Gino's does that with their breadsticks, and the breadsticks are fire. Detroit style isn't deep dish, though. It's not deep dish. Chicago style is deep dish, and that's when you put the cheese down and the sauce on top of it. It's okay. I don't mind that. Whatever. Who cares? Basically treating a pizza like lasagna. It's a very Sicilian thing to do. So, like, yeah. That's Detroit style. It's because there's a lot of Sicilians in Detroit. And Calabrese Italians as well. That's like the southern part of Italy. The northern part of it is like from Naples up. That's like New York style. Like where you slide it into a coal-fired oven. That's closer to Italian pizza. Anyway. That's Starbase Live making that noise.
The phase 2 lightning warning is terminated. The hail warning is terminated. Strong wind warning is terminated. Damaging wind warning is terminated. Phase 1 lightning watch remains in effect for all areas through 2000.
Phase 1 lightning watch is now in effect. Oh, that's awful. Never visit Scotland, then deep fried pizza. Why? Why would... That's here? You have nasty weather? I have Starbase Live unmuted. And Space Coast Live is muted. She said phase 2 lightning warning is suspended, wind warning is suspended, and a couple of other things are suspended. Basically, the bad weather's going away. Phase 1 lightning is still in effect. Okay. Couple more bits of space news here. Starship. Well, here, look. Headphone users. I don't know if this video is loud, but I'm turning the volume up. Oh, I found a tab with Space Coast Live open. Okay, nope, that was Space Coast Live. That wasn't Starbase. I had both of them unmuted. It was another tab that was hiding over there in the plethora of space news tabs. But it's not anymore. All right. Fire! Fire! Hell yeah. Looks good. Yeah, vehicle looks nice and healthy. You wanted me to look at engine startup? Is it just you, or does the RVAC nozzle look different? It has a bunch of bracing structure around it, dude. That makes it so you can operate it at sea level. Let's see, engine start. Let me look at it in slow motion. Staggered ignition. Interesting. 2 RVAC simultaneous, and then a third one. Yeet. Looked all right to me. I saw it wobbling, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, we really couldn't see much. This all looks fine. That wire harness, you might want to, cover it up, but Another interesting thing visible in this video is the new ship skirt shielding next to each RVAC nozzle. There was damage in these areas during Flight 12. Yep, that to help the booster flip? No, it's just most likely to not introduce harmonics, weird harmonics into the plumbing. It's for the flip. Wait. What are we talking about here? I thought the staggered ignition. Dude, I don't think that they don't fire the vacuum engines for the landing burn. Oh, the super heavy flip, not the Starship flip. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would say yes, probably. For hot staging, yes. I misunderstood. That's my fault. Oh yeah, she's definitely weeble wobbling around a little bit. Guys, this looks really nice. It looks really healthy. Those engines aren't chugging at all. They're not. The plume looks really, really nice. The mock discs look great. They're nice, really nice and uniform here. Hey Tan, what's going on? Theoretically, what's the TWR if they let her loose? It'll go up. Immolated, yeah, it'll go up. I don't know. If I had to put a guess on it, I'd say like 1.2. Yeah, none of the tiles are coming off. That's the real big one here, guys. You're firing the engines close to the ground. No tiles are coming off. That's great. That's really good. And there's one that came off. Either that or it was already off. But see, nothing funky is happening here. Let's see, was that thing on there to begin with? I see. Yeah, they would want super heavy to separate going this way. They want it to go that away during separation. So if it's like this, that would be doing that. They don't want it to do that sideways nonsense that it did on 12. How do they keep them on? What do you mean, how do they keep them on? Doing some TBC checkouts there. The tiles? They're clipped. They're mechanically clipped on. Sorry, man. I thought you were talking about rocket engines. I was like, the rocket engines? Really? If you watch here, you can see she's moving back and forth a little bit. Damn, dude. Some of them are glued, Clayton, but most of them are clipped on. The booster will flip forwards now instead of backwards. Dizzy, when you say forward instead of backwards, this way, right? Not that way. We don't want an underside flip. You want it to go up and over. Like if they're like this, right? You'd want it to go back like that, yeah? Like relative to Starship, you'd want it to go that way. Would the center of gravity be closer to the heat shield side? Yeah, Vargon, but not by much. You're gonna get a slight biased this way. Not a lot though, but yeah. Watch it again. They gimbaled the engines back and forth. Did you not hear it when I said they gimbaled the engines? I said they gimbaled the engines, and then I said it's wobbling, and then you said, yeah, it's because they gimbaled the engines. Look. I know I just came back from vacation, but I know I said that. Your Twitch is stuttering. It's all good, man. They did not gimbal the engines. The vibration is affecting the lens. Go back to your vacation. Oh, yeah? What's that? Maybe you need a vacation. What's that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Is that high score? What does high score mean? Did I break it? Screen reflections. You didn't see it because it isn't there. I saw at least 3.6 degrees of gimbal there. I mean, I would love a 2-week vacation for you. Swamp gas reflected off of Venus. Dude, I'd love to take a 2-week vacation, but yeah. Dude, another week would be sweet, dude. But yeah. So swamp gas reflected off of Venus. It was swamp gas from a weather balloon that was trapped in a thermal pocket and reflected the light from Venus. You guys, I don't think that's what it was, but just in case, have you guys ever seen one of these? The engines were gimbling. It did a full 60-second duration. Pie and punch was served. The pie was cold. No, it wasn't. It was warm. Banana. It's a chrome banana. What about aliens? Aliens don't exist. You need professional help, son. Did you just blinky thing us? No. No. All right. Can't say I've ever had my memory erased by a squishy banana before. Well, that you know of. Tannerin, what's up? Not how many times have you blinky thinged us? I've never done that. And not rocket related, but hear about the mess at Logan at night? Oh yeah, the fueling system broke for the entire airport. I'm sorry, that's pretty funny, dude. I mean, it sucks for the people there, but that's pretty funny. Nah, Elvis is not dead. He just went home. I did not, Matt. I don't know what you're talking about. Not space related, but Ford related. What's Ford got? What do you got here? That's supposed to sound good. It sounds like my garage door opening. Is this supposed to sound good? Like, I mean, no, that's cool that they're making a hypercar, but it sounds like a freaking garage door. Here's a hell of a birthday present. I'm sad that I can hear the garage door. So it sounds like, did somebody open my garage? The garage door open? Like, is it? Nope. Close the garage. Oh, sorry. It's based on the GT3 engine. That's cool, man. That's cool that Ford's getting into hypercars. Could we work on it, or are we allowed to do that, or? Sounds like a 40-year-old water pump. That's cool. Neat. Cirrus, that actually reminds me. I had my Mustang up at the Ford dealership the other day because there was an evap. It was throwing an evap code, and I'm not troubleshooting an evap system because frick that. It takes a long time in a smoke machine, and I didn't really feel like going and getting any of that. So I had them do it, and one of the guys at the service department was talking to me. He's like, "Wow, that's an '08 Mustang. It's GT and a 5-speed." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "How many miles on it?" I'm like, 77. He's like, "What? You should trade that for a new Mustang." I'm like, "No." Yeah, what are you kidding? I'm not doing that. Was it the gas cap? No. No, the purge valve. Purge valve went. Replaced it. It's good to go now. Oh, you should trade it. You should trade it for a new one. No, I shouldn't. No, I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Here's that 55K. Mine's at 77, dude, because my commute is just so long. You should go into debt, is what he's saying. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Traded for an EcoBoost Stang. You know what the sad part is, Vargon? If I traded it for a brand new Mustang 2.3 turbo with a manual behind it, it probably would be faster. The 2.3 Ecos make 300 horse. My Mustang does not make that. What, does service get a kickback from sales? I don't know. Now, the Ford dealership that I go to is pretty cool. It's a little ways away, but they're cool, so. It's also 10 years younger. Bro, I'm telling you, man, I keep that car in really good condition. That's my daily driver, guys. Not in the wintertime, though. My daily driver is an '08 Mustang GT. I drive that thing wherever I need to go. And, yeah, I keep it in pretty damn good condition. The car's pretty immaculate. There's some flecks in the paint, though, which pisses me off, but whatever. Call me when Ford isn't. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Kenny Brack GT40 in the rain. That's a race car. Nice. The 97? What about it? I use the 97 when I need to haul something, when I need to move something. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I take that. You had a 68 Firebird? Nice. All right. Is this the same company that popularized for some reason the wet belt engine? Yeah. In 2033, it legally qualifies as an antique in Virginia. Same in Mass, dude.
I had a really awful realization the other day. You know what that awful realization was? My 2008 Mustang is almost 20 years old. That's a 20-year-old car. The car is 18 freaking years old. How is that possible? How is 2008 almost 2 decades ago? How is that a thing? That shouldn't be a thing. It was like 10 years ago, man. What the hell? I don't know. I don't know how to deal with that. Like, I'm not even like, oh my God, the car's so old. What gets me is that if you think about a car from like 2026 to 2008, right? And then you think about, okay, they're infotainment and stuff, stealing your data, et cetera, right? More or less, it's the same idea, gasoline, direct injection, or not direct injection, just, electronic fuel injection, et cetera, right? Now think about a car from 1998 versus 2008. Now think about a car from like 1988 versus 2008. Like that. What the hell, man? That's just weird. More efficient powertrain, but the same basic principles. Yeah. They can have, you know what? They can have my 4-valve when they pry it, or my 3-valve 4.6 when they pry it from my cold, dead manual transmission. I mean, it's a Ford. It might happen. Jokes. Your 20-year-old, your 06 Impreza is 20 years old, and sadly it had a heart attack and died last week. Just get another engine and fix it. Get another engine and fix it. Do not buy a new car. Your car can vote now. Nice. All right. I am lazy now. All autos. So the 97 F250 and the 2008 Mustang that I have both of them are manuals. Both of them are manual transmissions. Both of my dailies are manuals because, no. Attention, please. Remove your hat and stand if able. They're starting the USA National Anthem. It's match time. All right. And on that bombshell. All right. Let's go. We'll see what happens. Good luck, American. Y'all need it easy. You mother freaking... No. If we win, we're taking Spa. All right? We're taking Spa. If we win, it's ours. Okay? No, it's ours. You can't have it back. No backsies. We're taking Spa and, maybe some waffles too. Go, Belgium. I hope Halligan gets a red. Oh, man, this game is going to be fun. Somebody, not me. It's soccer, whatever. It's fine. It's cool. I don't have a dog in this race. I mean, I kind of do, but also it's soccer. All right. Someone's going to be really mad in another couple of hours. Someone's going to be really mad. Dude that got his card rescinded gets red carded just after the whistle. That'd be really funny. All right. Oh, God, you're going to turn it into an oval. Yes. Yes, we will. It had bank turns originally. That's all I'm saying. All right. Time to cheer for Belgium, I guess. You know what this feels like? Being a Patriots fan. Everybody hates you. It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to this. It's good. President's in the VAR room. No. He wouldn't go to the game, Baron. You know who's in the VAR room? JD Vance. And he has his propeller hat, dude. I hate Falcon 9. No, you don't. But I don't believe you. You didn't know the difference between a stout and a lager. You can get bent. So if we lose, what track do they take? They can have Nazareth. That's fine. Yeah, you can have Nazareth. There you go. So what if it's abandoned? It's still a track. Whatever. All right. Well, hey, good luck. Any Belgians watching? It's gonna be a good match. We'll see what happens. But if you guys win, I tip my cap. If not, sucks to be you. No, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. All right. I'll be around here at noontime, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm gonna try to get out here and do some work on the car. Okay. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go soccer or football. Does it even exist anymore? No. No, Nazareth doesn't exist. All right. Have a good night, guys. Good luck. Have fun. I'm really weird saying this. Let's go watch some soccer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.